everybody. Okay, my name is Maadai, Maadai Bajan, and I live in Costa Rica. I am a major non-binary trans femme, and I love being me. But there's a long story before being here in my own room, in Maadai's room, and I think this is a so special place to talk about that journey, a journey that I didn't choose, a journey that people around me don't understand now. I was born 56 years ago, and I was assigned as a boy, as a man. But I never fit in what society show us how a man has to be. And I was a lonely child. I was so afraid of everything. I was so sensitive. And I was so confused about who I was. And of course, I suffered bullying in school from boys and girls. But inside of me was a fighter, someone who believed in a different future. In high school, I started to understand my sexuality. And I assumed that I was gay because I was starting to feel attracted to boys. But I also was attracted to girls. But in that moment, I couldn't understand what was happening. I was a lonely person. So I decided that I had to change my life. And I entered to university to study medicine. And I became a doctor. And I tried to follow what society says we have to do. And I married, have a family with daughters. I was a well-known neonatologist. I assisted to church. I was Catholic. And everything related to diversity, for me, in that moment of my life, was like sin, like diabolic, and everything that the church make us believe. But I started to live a double life. But for society, I was normal, as society says. But deep inside of me, something was wrong. And I started to have sex with men, women, and trans people. I went to many psychologists, psychiatrists, many people. And one of them told me, you have to try to understand if that's your but I knew I was not gay. I didn't know at that moment, but I was bisexual. And I decided to try to have a friend, a partner. So I knew this transgender young boy. And we had something really special. But he died. Everything blew down for me. I tried to overpass my feelings, my sufferings, but I just couldn't. And after years of trying to forget, I decided to exchange heart pain with body pain. And I began to visit a dungeon to practice BDSM with a master and a mistress. And a really dark moment of my life. But right there, in that obscure pathway, something happened. And I discovered myself. And right there in the dungeon, using numerology, I choose my name, a name that I decided to have as a trans femme. In Aramaic, because Aramaic is a dead tongue, and dead tongues are protected, spiritually protected. So I decided that my name has to be Maadai, Later, I thought, but I need a second name. So I choose a Turkish word meaning lady, and that's Bajan. So that's why I am Maadai. That means someone who brings joy, laughter, love. And Bajan, a lady. A lady that brings joy and laughter to everyone. And after 3 years, I decided to leave the dungeon with the help of a psychologist. But what I did was to exchange the dungeon for the psychologist's office. And it ended bad. And again, I was alone. In that moment, I talked with my family about my decision to transition. They were angry with me. They didn't approve what I wanted. So I was alone again. I got divorced. And I lost the love of my daughters. And I had to stand up from that fall and believe that everything that had happened to me was part of this journey to find myself, to understand myself. And I decided that it was time to show the world who I was. So I opened my Twitter and Instagram, and mostly Instagram. I started to be followed by work companions. And I really scared because that was not my intention. But in that moment, I got out of the closet. My companions began to call me and to say, "We approve what you're doing. We are proud of you for being so strong." And follow what you believe is good for you. When I talk to people, they don't understand what means non-binary or binary. And I take time to explain, okay, society says that everybody in the moment they are born had to be assigned in the only existing genders for society. And they start saying that you have your genes, that you have your body, with gonads are different from girl to boy, and that's all. But what I feel here, what I see here, is different. And it took me time to understand. For me, because non-binary people have diversity, and everyone who's non-binary create their own identity. In my case, I started to work with yoga, tantra, with tarot, to understand that we humans have a feminine and a masculine energy. And I'm not talking about being man or girl. Energies are related to the part of our brain that is acting in a specific moment. The masculine energy is the energy that makes us stand up, to fight, to protest. The feminine energy is the one that make us sensitive, wakes up our intuition, the love, caressing. It's beautiful energy. And that's the energy that is stronger in me. But I have my masculine energy. So I decided to be trans femme because it's my femme energy, the one that moves inside of me. And I am beyond man or woman as a gender. I am a trans femme. And after accepting myself as a trans femme, I decided to make a transition. The first part of that transition was here. And it was related to self-love, healing my inner child, my childhood traumas, acceptance of myself, empowerment of myself, believing in myself, enjoying my energy. And after that, my physical transition. And I started a long road. First, with some changes in my body, my nose, the shape of my face, a little contour of my body, laser treatment for hair removal, and still I have some more this year. But I'm going in baby steps, step by step, and reaching one step lets me understand which step is the next one. And believe me, it's not easy to find a community, a group friends, because most transgenders are too young. And I'm not mad about it, because young people open the road. They change what society used to believe about trans people. And I know still there's too much work to do, but they do a great job. I just don't feel I keep searching. And I have found more friends on Twitter than in real life. And I love my friends from Twitter. And every time I have the chance to cheer them up, I do. Because there's a long road of experience in my life. And I know that I can help them. And I can learn from them many things that I don't understand of this new world, of this new life. This was a new life. Starting from makeup, hairdo, clothes, the way you speak, the way you feel. It's a new world. And for me, coming from 28 years of a marriage with daughters, and they're finishing their university studies, and I have more than 30 years of working as a doctor. I mean, I ended that story because I'm starting a new one, totally different in every and any single. It's totally different. Transitioning at 60 or at 50 or 40 is not easy, because you don't look as a woman. I mean, you start to feel afraid of passing, because society make us believe that we transgenders have to pass. But wait, why we have to pass? Why we have to be accepted the way society wants to accept us? Why we can't show us as a transgender person? Why we have to hide? We don't have to be. I am non-binary. Maadai is not a woman. Maadai is a trans femme person, a transgender woman. And I am proud of being transgender, and I want to be visible to the world as a transgender, not as a woman. Because if I pass for society, I hide myself again, as I was hiding for more than 50 years. And I don't want to hide again. I want to show the world the beauty of being transgender, the beauty of a mature trans femme person, changing my energy that for 50 years was mainly masculine to a femme energy, a beautiful, amazing femme energy. And that's the difference between a woman, a cisgender woman, a binary person with me, a non-binary who plays with energies because I'm trans femme. And that's the difference. That's the way I explain people. And I tell them, imagine every person in the world having the opportunity to play with their energies, with their masculine and feminine energy. Imagine every man given a chance to be sensitive, to cry, to dress like they want to dress, and every woman given the chance to play with their masculine energy. Be strong. Maybe if the world could let the people play with their energies, maybe we wouldn't have so much violence and hate and regret and pain and suffering and drug abuse and alcohol abuse and sex dependency and suicides. Don't tell me that normal people are the ones outside and I am insane or mad, because if a normal person is happy, I don't see happy faces. I see pain around me. I see hate. I see people using masks to hide what they really feel inside because they have to show what society wants them to show. But in the middle of the night, when they are alone in their rooms, they have a deep feeling of loneliness, pain, deception. Look, we're coming from one of the most terrible moments of our existence with this pandemic. But what this pandemic really showed us is that life is now. This moment is life, not tomorrow, not even yesterday. Yesterday is gone. It doesn't exist. Tomorrow, what is tomorrow? A possibility. But I'm here. I feel myself because I'm here. My presence is here in today. Today is what we have to live. There's no tomorrow. That is what the pandemic showed us. There may be no tomorrow. And many people who had plans for trips, joy, happiness, are no longer with us here in this life. So, what are we waiting to be happy? To do what we want to do? Why we are trying to fit in a world where people is using masks, hiding what they really are, afraid of what people would say. And the answer is diversity. And that is our mission. That's why we exist. We are showing the world what happiness means, what you have to overcome shame, fear, insecurities, not belonging feelings, being different. It's like changing the way your energy moves. Instead of moving toward the people, the energy moves inside of you, healing. And when you do that, you show your light to the other people. And when people see your light, they understand. Someone does not believe in non-binary, but they accept because they can see that I am happy, that I am joyful. And they say, I don't understand what you're doing, but you look happy. And that's the most important thing, because there are many, many persons living a hell of a life in a marriage or hiding. For what? I don't understand why they want to be free. The second psychologist, and she was the one who told me, wait, Maadai, you can't transition if you don't heal first. Heal, that's the word. Before transitioning, people look for help with people with experience and prepared in dealing with transgender people. Try to find someone who is not religious but spiritual, because I believe we have to be spiritual, because we have to understand why we are here. We have a reason to be here, mainly to show the world that transgender people are normal people. That you can be a doctor, a lawyer, a teacher, a musician, the owner of the store at the end of the street, the bus driver, the policeman or policewoman, the Uber driver, the one who read the news in TV. Anybody could be transgender. What's the deal with hiding? Look, I decided to make my transition at 56 years old. When people say, don't do it, you're losing time, it's impossible, you're too old, I'm here, I'm happy, I don't regret it. Okay, I still have to work. There are many things that I still have to work. I'm in a process of healing. Okay, it's not easy. I mean, I work as man. Meanwhile, I'm dealing with transition. And I'm starting to show little by little to my friends, to my coworkers, who am I? First, with my Instagram, with reels and pics of me dressed like a woman, pictures with customs and reels with my pics. Oh, and reels with information about what it means to make a late transitioning and what is bullying and suicide. And they understood. I'm going little by little. What next? My face is changing. My body is changing. But they are seeing my changes. And I'm sure that they will understand. It's not like I take vacations 3 months and I return as a woman. It's that every day I'm changing. And they are seeing my change. And they understand why. And that's the most important thing, is understanding. Maybe some friend of yours can say, I'm against what you're doing, but I understand you. And it's okay. Understanding the differences. If people could respect the differences from each other, this would be a different world. And I have a reel for people who want to transition. And tips. And that's why I have my Instagram. And that's why I have my Twitter. I'm doing things that maybe other transgender person wouldn't do. But in this new life, I am learning. I am trying to understand. And there are some questions that sometimes people ask me. Are you going to do movies? Or boudoir? Or something like that? Look, I don't think there's something wrong about it. I don't think that doing these movies and shots, erotic, sexual, is wrong. I think, as in anything in life, there's a limit, and you have to be sure you know the limits, because you are a human being with dignity. And if you enjoy, have fun, it's all right. But always remember to stand up and say, I don't want this. I want this. No, I don't want this. With your partners. I used to think that who's gonna love a mature transgender? Me. I'm the one who loves this mature transgender. Me. When I see my image in the mirror, I say, I'm beautiful. I'm pretty. I love myself. I'm the one. I'm the love of my life. I'm the one who's been with myself since I was born. Who's gonna love me more than myself? from my self-love, I am with abundance, and I can love somebody from the abundance of my self-love, and not with the need of someone who's looking to be accepted and paying a price for that. Transitioning is not makeup, wigs, clothes, and transition is healing, accepting yourself, closing your fears of the past, healing your inner child. That's the first step. And I'm sure that after that, the rest is just part of the journey. And now we're gonna visit Maadai's room. You see there? All my wigs. And here, oh, I have many wigs. And look, here, you see my shoes? Oh, I love, look, these beautiful shoes. Is that the one I have? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. People, diverse people, because I don't like using letters to talk about people. Because I'm not a T. I'm a trans femme. So I prefer to call the community, the diversity community. Hope one day we can change, instead of using an acronym with letters that nobody understands, to diversity. I don't use pronouns. I make that work before getting out of my closet. Maadai. Because each and everyone has their own story, and we're different. This beautiful image is of a person that I used to love. And this person is not with us in this world. But I decided to have this beautiful image to remember that person. You see my clothes, corsets. Look, I have everything here. Masks, hats, lingerie. Okay, this is my world. And I have in another room my clothes. And I do photographic shoots. Sometimes I do them alone, or I ask a photographer, stylist, and a makeup artist to help me. It's beautiful to have help. Someone said, don't give people fish, show them how to fish. If you give people food, people are gonna eat food. But next time they want to eat, they have to go and ask for more. If you show people how to cook, maybe 1 or 2 times they go, but they're trying to learn. And the 3rd time, they're gonna cook their food. The same with us, as I was depending on makeup artists and the hairstylist. And I was afraid of doing myself. And I was like, I need to call them. And one day I just said, it's me. It's me. It's Maadai. And how am I letting others take decisions of Maadai when Maadai is me? Started to search, got this book about makeup, and I started from zero. And here we are. Lipstick, eyeliners, brows, prime, highlighters, concealers. Incredible. Starting from what to use, which one is for what? For makeup, for lipstick, for eyes, for brows. From zero. Hydrate your face, then foundation or prime foundation, concealing, corrector, highlighting, bronzer, lips, eyes, brows, eyelashes. I don't have. Wigs, clothes, everything. It's a new world. It's so different for me. Baby steps, but you can do it. Okay. In Costa Rica, we have the Social Security, the first institution where we, as a transgender person, can search for help. We have this opportunity to go to Social Security and ask for an appointment with a psychologist, a psychiatrist, and an endocrinologist, and start the process for receiving hormones. I've been just trying to understand these doctors that there are things that have to change, because they want like you have to be 2 years living as a woman before having hormones. I'm not a woman. I'm a non-binary. And I feel sometimes masculine, sometimes feminine, but non-binary woman. So we are different. We are not binary. So this is a law who was made by binary people. And they don't understand. And I have doctors that have told me, look, you know more about this. And we don't know how to talk to people who are transgender. And that's a work that I have to do. That's the next step. And that's what is bringing me here. What I have said is just my story. But why I'm here? There are too many people doing reels on TikTok, and why am I? Because I'm a late transitioner. I'm a doctor. And I want to do a real work for transgender people. I love parades. They're beautiful. But when the parade is over, what happened? I think that I have the opportunity to work on changes. This treatment protocol I want to check it out with the presence of transgender professionals. I want to create an organization that can give training to people in the health system to attend transgenders with care and love. I want to create an organization that can give job to transgender people, train transgender people. What happens when we age? Not all have the opportunity that I have. We have to change things. We have to give the opportunity to people to believe, to create. I have this dream of a restaurant where everyone who works there are transgenders. It would be beautiful to show the world this little community in this restaurant. People go there and they start to see transgender as people instead of the idea they have that we steal, that we're looking for sex, that we are toys, that we are anything except human beings with feelings like any other human being. I want to make in Costa Rica a transgender law to open safe spaces, safe zones for the diversity community. I want to create commissions in every public institution to give help to transgender workers. I want to create with the Psychologists College a protocol for those psychologists that want to treat transgender people. And they have to show that they have preparation, they have something that makes them worth to work with transgenders. It's not that a psychologist simply says, hey, I attend transgenders. Come with me? No. They have to show you something. And if you, during therapy, start to feel weird with your psychologist, I want to create a telephone number or WhatsApp where you can communicate and say, look, I don't feel all right with my psychologist, something is happening. And the college just takes that person and gives them protection with another psychologist. Meanwhile, the college sits with the first psychologist to see what is happening. It's protection for us. Teams of people who can help, like a 9/11 for transgender. If you're feeling sad, if you're feeling lonely, if you're feeling like having suicide ideas, There's a team with a psychologist, a social worker, a doctor, with other transgender who can give you support. We have to do this in Costa Rica. There's too much work to be done. It's just that I have work to do inside of me. And I can't go ahead and try to help people if I'm not helping myself, if I'm not changing myself. What is doing Maadai? Maadai is changing the world from her little window to her little Twitter window, her little Instagram window. I'm changing the world first with my visibility. I'm here. I'm a trans femme. I'm proud of being a transgender. That's the first step. The second one is getting in contact with other transgender and cheering up people. Look, you're beautiful because beauty is inside. Look, beauty is your energy. The rest is makeup, hairdo, and customs. Look, there's a journey. Look, the journey, the road you have traveled. Feel proud of your resistance. Look, maybe your family is against you, but you have here this group of transgender who loves you. That's Maadai. I know and I believe that this little window that I have now is going to open in a gate where I will help not only transgender but cisgender people to accept, to understand, to learn, give information, not to fight. I don't want to fight. I know there is violence in Twitter, there is violence in Instagram. Okay, and if we have to block people, we have to block people, because the first thing we have to protect is our peace of mind. That's the first thing we have to protect. If something is not giving you peace of mind, wait, that's not the deal. To help others and not helping yourself, that's not the deal. Helping all together is the deal. And the most powerful energy in life is love. Beautiful people are moved by love. They can suffer, they can feel pain, they can be afraid, but they have so much love to give. And I have so much love to give. And I want to share my love, my experience, my life with you. Thank you.